What equipment do I use when I do the Explain Strange podcast? And I know that a podcast is very scary for some. It was for me. And some people think that there is a lot involved, and there is a lot involved. Now, I thought that it was kind of, you could kind of just use the camera on the laptop or whatever, or at least that's what I was going to use. And it turned out that wrong. So I did a little YouTube surfing or whatever you want to call it, and that's how I figured out exactly what I was going to need to do this. Then I started looking at the cost. Things started changing up a little bit, and then whether or not I wanted to do it or not was kind of like becoming a different, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to spend money on that? Yeah. Because I do the Slap Recon, as y'all know, and that costs money. That ain't free. You got to go out and pay for the meals, and sometimes I get invited, and then I don't have to pay for the meal, which is what I really try to do. So this video here, we're going to go ahead and sit down. We're going to talk. I'm going to show you exactly what tools that I use in the beginning for the Explain Strange podcast, not for Slap Recon. No. So then we're going to see the cost in the beginning. Then I'm going to show you what I ended up, using and staying with or buying or whatever it was. So those of you who want to know, I'm going to show you right here. So all you got to do is stick around, hang tight. And if I were you, I would go ahead, let's sink a drink together, okay? We're definitely going to do this on a drink, right? Okay, why don't you just hang tight, and I'm thinking, I don't know, let's do this. Bones. Recon, we will be using Explain Strange Studio for one reason. Reason is, on Slap Recon, I have been asked on numerous occasions, what kind of equipment did I actually use to do the podcast? What does it take? And where do you get the equipment? And what was the cost? So I thought that I would do a video here on Explain Strange Podcast Studio. It's all lit up for Slap Recon. So let's talk about the equipment. First of all, I use, we're going to go with the, I decided or opted to go for the laptop. The laptop is nothing more than the Acer. It's an Acer 1080p, high definition. I think it's 11. I think it is. Because I use everything Google. I'm a Google guy. I am not the other, I can't do the other stuff, iPads and all that. All my kids do. I just don't do that. So I use just a regular Acer. I think I also have memory on this one. Isn't that I mean, it's not like a high memory, but I use my cloud storage, which is 1 TB or whatever that is. I don't know all these numbers. Okay, hey man, give me a break. I'm an old timer. All right, so the first that was the Acer, regular Acer. I'll be shooting pics in here too, so I'll try to point and tell you when the pic's going to pop out. Okay, so the next instrument in line is going to be the headphones. Headphones that I use are just regular standard Sony's, if you can see them right there. These are Sony's. I don't have a price on them, only because they were a gift. One of my sons, had got them for me for Father's Day or Mother's Day or hell, who knows what day, but I appreciated them. I was like, oh man, I always wanted some headphones, and I think he knew that. I mean, my kids don't really live with me. I think one does. I think she does lives with me, but the other ones, they all moved out years ago. But I know that he knows that I needed something to kind of tune the old lady out. Next instrument we're going to get into, or the next item that I use, was going to be wrong list. A mic. Okay, so the mic that I decided to go to, boom, that one right there is it. Yeah, I decided to go with that one because it had a price range of, I'm going to tell you what it was. It was called a Razer Serene Mini USB condenser mic. And I paid like $37, $37.99, I think it was. It's on the pictures there. And here's the box. There's the box right there if you want to see it. All right, and it was. I did a lot of YouTubing to find out exactly what would work best for me. And let's first of all get one thing clear. I did not know anything at all about podcasting. I did not have I didn't have a clue on it. I just figured that I talk a lot, and I figured, hey, what the heck, let's do it. So I got into it, and I started. I just started looking at YouTube and Googling and doing all the, whatever search engines you got. And I was just hitting them all, man. I was boom, 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 just, typing everything in, trying to figure out what I could use. So I came up with these solutions, So, I started out, I guess lower budget, because I thought that it would be better for me. And actually it was, ended up spending a little more money than I wanted to, but hey, whatever. Everybody does that. But that's why I'm doing this podcast for you right now, or actually this video for you. And that way you can kind of judge what you need, what you might want, and how you're going to take it. If you are deciding to do a podcast, And anyway, so that's the microphone. Here it is here. It comes to where you can put it on a stand like that. And you can just set it in front of you, and you can just start talking in front of it like that, which is not how I did it. I decided to go one step further than that, because I was like, well, I'm not going to be the guy to stand there and do that. So I bought the a boom, what they call a boom arm, and it's an Inno Gear microphone stand boom arm. There's a picture of it right there. Okay, and there's the price of it, and right here I think it was $19.79. I thought that it would work best for me because this is it here. I wanted to go this route. I didn't want to have the mic in front of me there and not get all the sound and everything, so I went this route. And this is it here. It moves back and forth. All this came with it. This here, the cover also, just so you don't get all the spit marks on, well, not spit marks on your microphone, but spit marks, the sounds that pop into the deal. So that's what I went with, and it's been good for me. Just you got to be careful when you move it around or tap it. You'll hear every single little thing. So be careful. There are microphones that you can get that are on these spring deals like that, and you'll see them once you start looking them up, and you can get one like that. So either way, that's what I went with, and that was the Serene. Okay, so then I said, well, I need to look for another mic, so I can't remember how much I paid for that one, but I know it wasn't as much as I paid for this next one. But the next one I like because it has this one feature. Ain't that cool? It's got a lens that you can boom, put it down, and in fact, there it is right there on the I think it was I think I'm showing everything on Amazon or whatever it is, but there it is right there. That's the mic, a Nexigo, and for how much I paid for it, the Nexigo N60 1080p, And that is a 1080p. It's not, I didn't go 4K and all that, 5K and whatnot. And this one is one with a cover. And I paid $29.98 for that one. So to me, it works better. I like the visual of it coming out of your mic, because once you start looking at them and investigating or researching, whatever you want to say, once you start doing all that, I think you're going to find that some of them have different tones and everything. Now, there are some microphones and cameras and all that. You can pay higher dollar, and a lot of these people, I know that they do. Now, also, I do want to mention, when it comes to the camera, something I didn't mention. I know that people wanted to know what camera I use on my Slap Recon. Also, just use a regular. I think it's a Samsung N24 or something like that, or N48, or I have no idea. I don't know what it is. It's just a regular Samsung. It's no big deal. It's a Galaxy something, whatever. And I use it, and it gets me by. But sometimes, most of the time, 98%, 96% maybe, I usually use that for the pictures, but 96% of the time, I'm using this right here. I'm a GoPro man, and this is the Hero 11, I think it is. And interesting note, when I got this thing, I wanted the top of the line, and I was like, I don't care what, I want the best one. I don't mean the best money can buy. I don't mean nothing like that. The newest version, I guess, of the Hero. So when I got this Hero, I think it was not even 2 weeks later, the 12 comes out, and I'm like, contemplating whether or not I wanted to go ahead and just take the camera back, which I could have, because I got it at the Best Buy deal, whatever, and then I just said, nah, what the heck, man, I know, I did Google and YouTube, whatever. And I noticed it wasn't that big of a change. There were some modifications and stuff, but I was good with this one because I'm not all that into these things. I'm not a perfectionist and all this and that. Now, getting into the next mic, the next step. This was kind of like the last step that this is where I'm at, and this is where everything kind of stopped, where I quit buying stuff, I think it was. And it's the Fiducie. There it is there. The Fiducie microphone. That was this one right here. And this one here is the SL40. And it actually says it is for a podcast microphone, SL40. So I went with that one because I figured that if it said, it was for that, I mean, that was fine. And I was great with the price. Now, they have two different ones. One is a higher dollar one, and then they had this one. The review that I saw where a guy was using it, I can't remember his name or anything, on YouTube, I'm sorry. And when he started showing the differences in sound, he did 4 different mics, and this one here just stood out to me. I was like, oh yeah, I love the sound of that one because it makes my voice sound real sexy. Anyway, and I think this one here, let's see, remember, this one's a dynamic mic. Okay, I forgot to mention the Serene was a condenser mic, and this one's a dynamic. And there's a big difference in these mics, and I'm going to tell you right now, a big difference. Learn, do your homework on them, so you'll know why one is the other. This one here was $54.99, $54.99, and I liked it. I love it so far. There's an upgraded version. It might be 70 or 80. I forgot what it was, but I'm pretty happy with this one here. Now, there's a difference in these mics. If you notice on the mics here at the bottom side, they have the plugs are different, okay? So on this one here, they go classic, plugged right into your it has a plug here, pops in here, but then you can HDMI it or whatever, plug it into your laptop. Now, the best microphones, as I've noted or learned or watching all this stuff, I may be wrong and I don't know that I am or not. The best microphones are the ones that you can get that you don't plug in directly into this. Like this mic here has a 3-prong, and sorry for the motions, movement and all that, but has a 3-prong. It's more like a professional jack that it pops in there, and then it'll go to some a type of box. I don't remember what the box is called. Uh, yeah, I just don't remember what it was called. I thought I was going to write it down here. I guess I didn't. But anyway, you have to get that extra kind of a box, a condenser box, or I forgot what they call it. And then this will plug in there with a special cord or jack, and then that will get you into your laptop or whatever. So, and what it does is it strengthens the actual whatever it takes. The can't think of the word. God, the energy or whatever. It kind of boosts it. So I thought that was cool, and I didn't want to go that route because that would have been another. I think it's like 80 or something. I think they can go more than that. And I don't know. I think the cheapest. I can't remember the cheapest. I know that I was looking more into the 70 and 80, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I think I'm good with this because I'm not a professional here, but I'm just doing the best I can. So, either way, just keep in mind that's what I used here. Other question was, I don't know why I got this question, but wow, a lot of people like my glasses. Okay, I mean, I thought that was weird. These are in case you're wondering, they're not prescribed. They're not prescribed. I got these on Amazon, and they're Duvik Italy design readers. There it is, right there. Boom. All right. Yeah, Duvik Italy design readers, and there they are right there. You can see them for $15.99. And that's just what I chose to use, or choose to use for now. And I just decided to do that with the podcast. And I usually only use these for the podcast. And there was one other thing that I thought I'd mention. Oh, okay. Now, also to do a podcast, you can either just do it straight on YouTube, but YouTube is kind of getting away from the podcast and stuff. So I decided on that note that I would get a server. And to get a server, you have to subscribe. It's one of them deals there. And I think it ain't no more than 19. It could be less than that. But I went with these guys, Riverside, and I believe it's actually Riverside FM. And what that does, and that's what I'm shooting this on right now, Riverside FM, Riverside. And what I do there, it can control all so when I do a podcast, I have to limit the sounds, watch the sounds, and when a guest comes in, I have to do the same thing. So I'm kind of like producing the thing at the same time. So I'm kind of monitoring their sound versus my sound, make sure that they try to stay on the same level. You know what I'm saying? So, and here I don't have to do that because it's just only me, so we can just go wherever really spasmodic or whatever. It doesn't matter. So, anyway, that's what I use there. That I highly suggest using them, or subscribing to them, because it works for me. And let's see, what you do is you just download it on here. Like actually, you don't download nothing. It's recording me right now. And after it records me, what happens is I go ahead and I take the video. It'll process it. Riverside processes it, and they check it, and they kind of clean the noise out, noise levels, in case there's something in the background and whatnot. So I like that. So that's the studio side of it. And hat wise, I ain't gonna tell you much about where I get the hats. These are the hats. This is the one I use for the podcast. This is the one I started using before doing the podcast. So they're just hats. I keep them off to the side of here. So that's going to be the studio side of it. And stay tuned. I'm going to show you the other side of it. What the actual studio looks like. Because obviously I can't turn this camera around and do all that. So just hang tight. We're going to do that in just a second. So get ready for that one. Hey. All right, now we're out of that, and show you how that works. There it is right there. You see how it's processing it? And every time I need to take a break, I just hit the stop the record button, take a break, and I jump into the next. So I probably broke it's only showing 3-4 times. So, and that's it. It processes it, and it's going to clean everything out, make everything look good, sound good, and everything. Make sure there ain't no kinks or whatnot. And that's why I use them. And there it is right there. Riverside. Here's Riverside FM. See that? Okay. So, and then you see the rest of my podcasts right there. They're all there. Everything's lined up. I can bring it down right here. Boom. There they all are. Check them out. Isn't that cool? There's Galveston right there. Y'all remember that one? And some of the early ones. And there's the Shapeshifter. And anyway, that's the actual the Riverside. Now I'm going to show you one other thing here. Now, what does it take for me to sit down in that chair and do what I'm supposed to do? I got to sit in that chair right there and then get on that little camera right there and do what I got to do. Well, I got one of them lights, you know that. And I think everybody has, what is it? I think it's called a selfie light. Now, that lens, that camera that I was talking about, everything is plugged right here inside of the camera, into my Acer. See, this is a regular Acer, nothing fantastic. But the camera itself, I put it up here instead of right here. Everybody puts theirs here, but I don't like that close look. So I put it up here. I set it up where I can put a clamp here on my camera stand. This is just a camera stand, and this is holding that, and it's holding this here. Without, of course, you know these have, I can get brighter and low and blue and green and whatever. And there it is right there. So that's how I do that, and then I can just move it like that. And there's that lever I was telling you about. See there? It opens and closes. I think that's so cool. I love that. Why you want to shut it off, I don't know. That might be freaky people in this world. Anyway, again, what else is in there in the studio? I always have something on the side. Something on the side. Usually I have some wheat thins and a couple of cookies in there just to keep me going. Here I got my drink. I always have my drink with me, so that's just the way it's going to be. I'll definitely have to have my water because my type of throat cancer, y'all know I gotta have my water. And then I'll keep stashing here. And this is my bowl where I just keep a bunch of different things. Let's see, hold on. Now, you have to have some kind of soundproof, and they requested it be soundproof, and here it is right here. I just use drop cloths. I decided, just so you don't get the echo sound because my ceilings are kind of high here. So I decided to use the echo, the drop cloths. So that's all these are, moving cloths and drop cloths. That way when I do anything, the sound doesn't leave this area here, so it doesn't echo. And lights, okay, here are my lights. There's the fantastic lights. And there's the light, it goes like that. See? You really want to see what it looks like, it goes like that. And that's the effects. It's no big deal. It just shoots from over here from that camera, shoots over there, and then it looks like it's some big effect. But no, it's not. It's just those lights right there. And then on those lights, because somebody wanted to know what type of lights I'm using, there they are, the little drop lights. You can get it at Home Depot. And here's one right here. Nothing fancy. Just a light. This one just has a plain old light bulb in it. See? That's all. Just a plain old light bulb. And that one. Sometimes there'll be a red one too, so. And when you take them out the package, they look like that. You see, they're fluorescent. And color code is on the bottom. You see, like this one is green. I have blue ones. I have kind of off red, but they're kind of red or whatever. And that's all I do. I just put them in those things. I just put a board up there to track them on, and there it is. That shoots against there. So it's nothing fancy, it's nothing expensive and all that. So going on that, let's talk about price. I did a price chart right here, and it should be right there on the camera, right there. All right, so everything that I spent that I told you about, except minus, let's say minus the headphones, because I didn't add those into this because they were a gift, and I wasn't even going to call my son and ask him, hey man, how much did you pay for them? For that them headphones. I'm not going to do that. But you can, they're headphones. You can get. I looked them up anyway. You can get some headphones on YouTube. I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep going there, but you can get them on Amazon or anything. You can get them for $9. You probably want a little better one. I would spend recommendation. I would spend at least $19.99 or whatever. Okay, my recommendation. That way you kind of really want to hear how this is going to come out. And then all the information, all the equipment that I'm using right here, the boom, the mic, this particular mic, the produce and all that, it came out to 158.74. 158.74. Now, adding the Serene Mini condenser mic, the little one that I no longer use, it would have been 196.73, because that would have, so all I'm doing is deducting the $37.99 for the mic from that. So total I paid was 196.73. That's that headphone thing, whatever. And then less the lights and all that. I mean, the effects are on you. You can do whatever you want for the effects. Oh, and then Riverside, like I said, I think I'm paying almost $20 maybe. I'm not sure. You can check it. Sometimes they have specials and they give you some hours free or whatever they do. But anyway, I hope that answers a lot of your questions, and I hope that helps. And if you plan on doing a podcast, I tell you what, you have questions, feel free to contact Slap, man. I'm right here for you. Strange Podcast. And that, I believe, is everything, and I hope it is. And if it is, and if it's not, remember, contact the Slap if you need me for your podcast. I'll help you out. I'll show you exactly what I got, where I got, whatever. And any way I can, I'll try to help you, or any questions that you need. So I think that's going to be a Slap is Right. Phone Slap is out.